Hello, welcome back to Zentangle Explore. I am Esther Piszczek. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher, and I am so thrilled that you are here to draw with me, either in person or on the replay, wherever you are in the world. So this is a class where we draw one Zentangle pattern really, really slowly. So all you need is a pen. I have a 01 here. I like to use a permanent pen in case I like to add watercolor or marker afterwards. And then little pieces of watercolor paper, cardstock, something, even notebook paper would be totally fine, better without lines. But if it has lines, that's okay too. And if you just have a ballpoint pen, perfect. Or even a highlighter, you can draw. So we're going to start out with a brief meditation. And then I'm going to switch my camera and we will draw a lovely pattern and explore it in your own creative way. All right, so let's get nice and comfortable in our seats. You can close your eyes if you like. I'm going to close mine. Oh, and just check in with your breath. Just notice your breath, gentle awareness. Perhaps feel where it is that you're sitting or lying down or wherever it is or standing even, however your position. Just feel your connection to the floor, to the place where your body is resting. Allow your exhale to just let you feel gravity's gentle little tug. Rest more fully, more completely, knowing that right now there's nothing to do but to breathe and feel your body in this space, knowing that you are safe and held in this moment by the surface that you are sitting upon or standing upon or lying upon, by the building or the space that you're in outside, by the earth. Just allow any noises or sounds in your environment or mind to just float away. It's not necessary to label them or follow them or create a story about them. Just let them. Let them be exactly as they are, floating into your awareness, floating out of your awareness as you continue to breathe. Inhaling, a little rest at the top, and exhaling, with a little rest at the bottom. Allowing that gentle cycle to continue. Just watching it, following it, tuning into it. Noticing sensations of breathing. Noticing the sensations of relaxing your muscles and releasing and letting go. Just letting go. No need to hold on to anything right now. When you're ready, let's take a big inhale together. And a nice sighing exhale, making noise if you like. Oh. Giving that body, your body, a little vibration, a little massage on the inside with that sound. Nice big inhale. And a sounding exhale if that feels comfortable. Ah. Allowing yourself to sink deeper into your seat, releasing any tense muscles, relaxing more fully. And a nice inhale. Sighing, letting go, exhale. Oh. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. Know that whatever you create today or in the rest of your day will be perfect just as it is. Okay, thank you for breathing with me. It's so helpful to breathe before drawing really slow lines. Okay, I'm going to change my camera and we will draw. Okay, so I have several pieces I have watercolor paper, but you can use whatever you have on hand. And whatever shape you want to use is fine. The small ones here are 2x2. I wouldn't go smaller than that, but larger pieces are fine. And I have a 01 Micron, but you can use any pen at all. If you even just have a ballpoint pen, that is perfect. Or I also have a Sharpie pen here, felt tip, whatever you want to use is perfect, totally fine. So we're going to draw a pattern called Excellence by Dina Schaffer, who's a certified Zentangle teacher. And this is a pattern that is quite specific, but I'm going to challenge you to really make it your own. So we're going to start, just going to start really easily here in a corner. Let's just play with this. So we're going to draw a square. My line already has wiggle in it, which I totally love. And let's just do a right-hand corner here. And if you are drawing on a larger sheet of paper, just fill in those other two lines and make it a nice box. So in this class, we draw our lines really slowly with attention on our breath. Actually, I'm going to make one really big one. I really want to show you what this does. So let's just make one square for right now. We're not going to split it up into smaller spaces. So right in the middle, I'm going to draw a little diamond shape, and I'm going to show you a couple ways to do this. So this is just to start out. Nice little diamond shape. It doesn't matter if it's exactly in the middle. Don't worry about it. And a nice slow little circle in the middle. It's starting to look like a little tree house or a birdhouse. And then from the corner, draw a nice slow line up towards that diamond. I'm going to add a little bit of a shape on the end there, like a little teardrop. And I'm going to turn that black. You can leave it white if you want, or you can make it darker. And out of each of these corners, I'm going to do the same, coming right into the center where that diamond is. Adding a little shape. So in this class, we pay attention to the elements of each tangle. What is it that's making up the tangle? So first we have a box. And then we have a diamond. And a circle. And these kind of little matchstick shapes or elongated teardrops that come into the center. And know that any one of these elements can be changed at any time. And so the whole point of this class is to take this Zentangle pattern, which is the one we're working with today, and to explore it, and not to explore it in my way, but to explore it in your way. So if you have any thoughts in your head, like, what if I did this? Or what if I did that? You can explore those thoughts. So I'm going to make I'm going to split mine up into 4 little squares to show you what this looks like in a grid. Drawing really slowly. Just making a little box. And if it's not quite a square, that's okay. And I'm going to break this up with little window panes. Just a little vertical line and a nice slow horizontal line. Now, this is a very specific pattern, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't have infinite number of ways to be explored and played with. So I want you to notice that last time I drew this diamond first and the circle in the middle, because I did that to get the spacing around these outer little kind of Q-tip shapes that come in. But you don't have to do that. You could just draw the diamond, just draw a circle. You could draw a different shape in the middle. You could play with just putting these little outside shapes in first, just allowing some space in the middle. Remember, you can turn your tile at any time. I tend to draw upside down and backwards in my classes because that's how people can see best when I'm drawing. You can turn your tile at any time. And then when this all comes together here, when it's in a grid, you'll notice how these little matchstick lines start to make a new shape and a new pattern, which is really fun. Just breathing and keeping those lines nice and slow, knowing that we have plenty of time. Plenty of time. There's no rush. The name of this pattern is excellence, but that's just a name. And really, the excellence comes in you spending time with your pen and your breath, your imagination, your creativity. No matter what that looks like on the page. It was a gift to take time to just breathe and do something so simple. Knowing that whatever you're drawing, whatever it looks like, it's absolutely perfect. You're drawing it for the first time. You're exploring this pattern for the first time. So no matter what it looks like, it's an experiment that is already a complete success. Now you can play with, now that you know the pattern, you can play with exploring it in different ways. Allowing your pen to really just take control of what shows up on the page while you watch it. Just like we watch our breath. Playing with shapes and sizes and spaces. Now, because these are squares that we're doing, you can also play with them as diagonals. Actually, I'm going to change this completely now. I didn't realize I was doing this, but because this is an exploratory class, I can do it. So this is what I mean by exploring and using the elements. Let's turn my tile. So I have the same thing going on here. I have these corners, I have this space. It's just that now I have 3 sides instead of 4. The thing is, because we're all unique individuals, we all see things differently and experience things differently and have different past experiences and different life experiences and different family situations and different relationships. And so we all bring something different to the page, to our pen, to our hand, to our breath. It's so, so important to honor that. So just because you're doing something that doesn't look like what I'm doing doesn't make it wrong in any way. It just makes it different. Any one of these elements can be liberated from this box at any time. You can take them and play with them outside of this structure in any way you'd like. You can play with a number of these little matchsticks. You can play with the shape on the end. So many different ways to change and morph this pattern and make it your own. You can play with the size of the shape in the middle. Knowing that because this is an exploratory class, whatever you do is absolutely perfect. And I say that with full and complete sincerity. So just allow your pen to move on the page. Allow your breath to flow nice and easily. Allow your thoughts to just float away. Especially if they have any sense of critique or judgment about what you're creating. This is not the class for that. So just because there's one square here or triangle doesn't mean that there has to be. There could be an inner level, an inner aura shape. Show you what I mean over here. Any one of these elements can be made bigger or smaller. The lines can be made thicker. It can be shorter or longer. You can experiment with playing with the outside shape. What if it's not really a square? What if it is like elongated corners? What if there's a box within a box? What if the only goal is to breathe and draw really slowly? And if you're breathing, which we all are, we are all breathing, no matter where we are in the world. And when you find this video, when you sit down with your pen, every single one of us is breathing. I love playing with organic patterns because they're so free and so easy for me. They may not be easy for everyone, but they're easy for me to modify and explore. And so it's really fun to take a pattern that has more structure and say, well, how can I explore this? What are the elements of this pattern? Knowing that no matter how I explore it or what it looks like in the end, that I'm doing it right because I'm doing something new. I'm doing something unexpected. I'm doing something that is potentially highly delightful. I can always, always, always use more delight in my life. Whenever I draw a Zentangle pattern, I pay close attention to every one of the steps because there's usually between, sometimes more, sometimes less, but usually between 4 to 6 steps in any Zentangle pattern. And I know from drawing for many, many years and teaching classes that I get to stop any one of those at any one of those steps. So what if I get to step 3 of the pattern? I say, oh, but I really love this. What if I drew that for a while? What if I explored that? Then that's absolutely perfect. This is a really fun pattern for adding color. It'd be really fun to explore this with watercolor paint or colored pencil or highlighter, even marker. I love taking exploratory patterns that I'm just playing with and drawing them on envelopes, adding highlighter for color, knowing that it's going to fade and go away, but on its way to being opened and tossed, that it will surprise and maybe even delight several people as it makes its way through the postal system. So I could leave this the way it is, or I could add darkness or black to it. I'm going to leave it alone right now and just let it be white because I may want to add some color to it later. What I love about this process is it reminds me that there's not only infinite number of ways to explore with my pen on the page, but infinite number of ways to explore my relationships, my perspective, how I do certain things, especially habitual things. I really start to ask, well, why do I do it that way? And what would happen if I did it differently? The common example people use for changing things up is brushing your teeth. What if I started on the lower teeth first? What if I started on the left side of my mouth first? What if I put the toothpaste onto the brush with opposite hands? What might that feel like? What might I learn about my dexterity or my flexibility or my coordination if I allow myself to play with things that I do habitually? So this is only a little piece of paper, and yet there's so many different ways that I can use it and fill it with really slow lines. Super slow lines, relaxing that hand, allowing your breath to flow. Maybe breathing into your belly. And letting any thoughts of judgment just float away. And maybe even replace those thoughts with, like, wow, I'm doing it. I'm sitting down with my pen and this piece of paper with this video or here live today. And I'm breathing. Maybe this is a little moving meditation for you. Anything that brings you into more conscious awareness of your breath is so super healing. And any one of these elements can change. And so even you could even create this pattern in a circle. And just because these little leaves or teardrops come out of the corners, they don't have to. They can come out of the sides. There could be 3 of them instead of 1 of them. You get to decide, you get to explore. It's your creation, it's your time, it's your pen, it's your breath, and you get to do it your way. And maybe exploring this pattern brings you into an awareness or a memory of a different pattern that you love to draw from childhood or school days. And you think, wow, I really want to draw that pattern. Well, you have a pen, and you have your breath, and you have a piece of paper, and you can do that. Nice and slowly. Just allowing. I'm going to allow. And allowing really is an opening and a softening, and the ability to say no. Saying no to any limitations that pop into your head. Say, well, you can't do that because she didn't say you could do that. Well, you can't do that because that would be risky, or you might ruin something. And in reality, there's nothing to ruin. There's only experiences to be had. And everything that we experience teaches us something new and gives us something further to explore. And learning new things is fun and gives us more information. And stories to tell. And experiences to share. And a starting point for going even further. We're learning new and different things. You don't have to like everything that you create, but the act of creating it is really, really helpful. And perhaps you say, well, I don't think I'll do that again. But if you hadn't done it in the first place, you wouldn't know. If that's not something that you want to do again. And so it's helpful to just try it out. Because you can. Because you have a pen, you have your breath. And you have a piece of paper. I think in life we have so many rules about doing this or doing that, or having to get this done, or pay that bill, or go to this place on time, that our imagination sometimes gets a little bored. So it's nice to take it for a walk on the page. Say, come on, imagination, let's do something super fun because we can. Knowing no matter what we do, it's absolutely perfect, just as it is. There's a lot of AI out there now, people doing amazing things with AI. We really allow our imagination and our pen and the page to be our free space. Our brains are incredible tools, and we can create so many amazing things if we just give ourselves the freedom and the permission to do so. And practicing in this really slow, simple way, knowing that there's nothing that we can do that's wrong. It's a really helpful practice for empowering ourselves to feel free in other ways that maybe we haven't ever experienced before because we've never given ourselves permission. I often hear people say, well, I'm not creative in that way. The fact is that everybody's creative. We are creative beings. It's our innate gift to be creative. So when I hear them say that, I often wonder, well, how is their creativity being explored? Because it is expressing and being explored in some way, because that is who we are. We are creators. And so maybe it's in how they decorate the house, or maybe it's in how they find new ways to get to the same old places, or maybe it's in how they explore in their exercise routine, always trying new things. So I often find when people come to my class and they say, well, I'm not creative, or I don't know how to do these things, or nothing comes to my mind. It's really just about relaxing that inner voice, that critical judgment voice, and giving yourself permission to do things that that voice would never allow you to do before. Taking risks, knowing that the risk is they'll be black where you didn't want it to be. That's really the only risk. And there's always another piece of paper. There's always a new opportunity to explore. So really, there's nothing risky happening at all. Which is super fun and freeing and delightful and lovely. Hmm. I really like spending a nice amount of time drawing in this way because I find in the beginning I'm more likely to stay within the kind of prescribed boundaries of the pattern. It takes me a while to really free myself up, which is why it's a really great practice to just challenge yourself throughout the week to draw this pattern or any pattern in new ways. Just look at it and say, well, that's what I did yesterday, but what could I do today that's different? How could I stretch it, change it, morph it? Just because I can, and do it really slowly. I'm always amazed when I teach this class, and there's always live students on the other side of this that you don't realize because it's recorded. But we always share at the end, and I never would have thought to do that, whatever that is. And now that I've seen it, I can try it on for myself, which is super fun. Just playing with lines, really slowly, while breathing. It's a simple practice, so powerful for calming the mind, relaxing the body, relaxing your expectations, feeling a little discomfort possibly about taking risks, knowing that there really is nothing bad that can happen here. So it's such a delightful way to practice taking risks and feeling uncomfortable, and allowing yourself to take those risks anyway. All right, I drew all kinds of things today. Here are my explorations. I'm sure yours look quite different. I hope you enjoyed drawing this pattern and exploring it with me. And I hope that you explore even more throughout your week. And enjoy picking up your pen and breathing and drawing slow lines. So if you'd like to contribute to this class, you can do so at paypal.me/eternal possibility, and you can find my classes and my work at eternalpossibility.com. And I'm always open to hearing from people. So if you'd like to send me some of your drawings, connect with me online. All right. Happy drawing, everybody. Bye.